Long before the release of the series The Queen's Gambit, chess was already a popular activity. In the mid-1920s, a life-size chess game was organized in Palace Square, St. Petersburg, Russia, with the Red Army representing the black pieces and the Soviet Navy the white pieces. Demonstration of a flight helmet by British inventor W.T. Warren. At the time, head injuries were one of the most common causes of death in aviation accidents. The method used to test the helmet's effectiveness was remarkable. In South Africa, a group of students from Durban crammed 25 people into a phone booth to enter the Guinness Book of World Records. The feat gained attention in England, where a similar squash attempt was made but managed to fit only 19 people. A hard drive with a storage capacity of 5 megabytes. In 1956, it took 4 people to move the device, and renting it cost companies $3,000 per month. In 1969, when black people were still prohibited from swimming alongside white people, Mr. Rogers invited Officer Clemens to join him in cooling their feet in a pool. One of the first photos showing a Native American with a wolf. Unlike the myths spread by settlers, indigenous people had a close and respectful relationship with wolves. Shirley Slade, a 22-year-old pilot, wearing her helmet, goggles, and gloves, 1943. Bobby Gibb, the first woman to run the Boston Marathon in 1966, ran without a bib because women were not allowed to officially enter the race. A milkman continuing his deliveries during the London Blitz in 1940. Susan Kare, the famous Apple artist, designed many of the fonts, icons, and graphics for Apple, Next, Microsoft, and IBM in the 1980s. Couples in a Bar, Pittsburgh, 1959. Marina Ginesta, a 17-year-old social activist, journalist, and translator, pictured on the rooftop of Hotel Colón in Barcelona, 1936. John Smith, a Chippewa Indian living near Cass Lake, Minnesota, claimed to be 137 years old before his death in 1922. This photo was taken in 1915. The bushy-haired ladies of the 1970s. Three boys playing for the camera, Jamaica. Jewish prisoners after being liberated from a death train, 1945. A shopkeeper in Harlem standing outside his store, 1937. A little boy and his car, 1930s. The little man has style. A mother and daughter strolling through New York City, 1970. A Japanese couple taking a selfie in the mirror, 1920s. Sigourney Weaver's high school yearbook photo, 1967. a photo of inventor Charles S. L. Baker and his assistant, demonstrating a heating/radiator system, 1906. A bride leaving her recently bombed house to get married, London, November 4, 1940. The band Kiss with their parents, 1976. A Woman from Luzon, 1875. A hippie dad walking with his daughter, Amsterdam, 1968. An Inuit man teaching a child how to shoot, circa 1920. David Isom, 19, broke the color line at a segregated pool in Florida on June 8, 1958, leading authorities to shut the facility down. The two Kashmiri giants posing with American photographer James Rickalton, 1903. A genuinely happy-looking family, United States, 1959. An oasis in Giza, 1917. A man arrested for growing marijuana, mid-1970s. The New York City subway system, 1980. Learning to ride a bike, 1961. New York City, September 11, 2001. Filming of the original MGM logo, 1928. Not everyone loves bikinis. Miami Beach, 1980s. A couple watching the Apollo 8 spacecraft launch, 1968. The Alligator Table. This bizarre scene took place in the 1920s at the California Alligator Farm in Los Angeles. However, the animals in the photo were trained, allowing visitors to move freely among them. Women doctors in Philadelphia. This 1885 photograph captures a group of women from India, Japan, and Syria. In fact, all of them had completed their medical education in Philadelphia that year. The London Scottish Regiment. During World War I, soldiers prepared for war by tossing each other into the air. This photo was taken in England in 1915. A Native American mother and her son, 1900. Sean Connery signing a coconut. Here's an unexpected surprise. Sean Connery signing a coconut for a Jamaican boy during the filming of Dr. No in 1962. Chinese flag. In 1941, Ruth Lee, a Chinese restaurant hostess, waved a Chinese flag while sunbathing to avoid being mistaken for a Japanese woman. This photo was taken on a Miami beach. Princess Diana and an AIDS patient. This 1991 photograph captures Princess Diana holding hands with an AIDS patient. At a time when hysteria over the virus was still high, her decision to touch him without gloves was significant. Anne Frank's father. This image shows Anne Frank's father, Otto, returning to visit the attic where they hid from the Nazis. He was, in fact, the only survivor of the family. Military dog, 1945. This wounded dog poses with his handler in Japan in 1945. The American soldier holds a good luck flag taken from a Japanese soldier. Shepherds listening to music records, Azerbaijan, 1939. Emperor Nicholas II of Russia, 1868 to 1918, enjoyed taking selfies. Navajo riders in Canyon de Chelly, Arizona, 1904. Italian pasta shop. Captures laundry lines outside a pasta shop. It was taken in Palermo, Italy. The Young Pioneers. In short, the Young Pioneers were a Soviet government youth group. They can be seen wearing gas masks during a preparation drill for an attack. Red Cross fundraiser, 1918. The nurses and officers in this image were part of a Red Cross fundraising campaign held in Birmingham, Alabama, in 1918. The Beautiful Pamir, the last commercial sailing ship in the world, rounding Cape Horn, 1949. Frozen Niagara Falls, 1911. An outdoor game of bandy, a winter sport similar to ice hockey, in Sweden gets interrupted when part of the ice floor suddenly breaks, 1959. Rome when it became the capital of the Kingdom of Italy, 1871. The White House swimming pool. This was the White House swimming pool in 1946. It has since been converted into the press briefing room. Mark of a kamikaze plane. The imprint of a kamikaze plane is clearly visible on the side of the HMS Sussex. This photo was taken in 1945. War zone. This massive pile of 105mm shells was the aftermath of an Allied bombardment. All were fired in a single day against German lines in 1916. The Le Jaune, the Yellow, airship passing by the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France, 1903. The U.S. Supreme Court in session. This 1937 recording was taken by a woman who had a camera in her purse. Cameras were not allowed in the Supreme Court. As far as anyone knows, this is one of only 2 photographs ever taken during a court session. Times Square when Germany surrendered. This photo captures the crowd celebrating on May 7, 1945, after Germany surrendered, marking the end of World War II. Gay Pride demonstration. This was the first ever gay pride demonstration. In short, it took place in Philadelphia in 1972. Women's March in Tehran. Iranian women march against the hijab law. Tehran, 1979. Soviet soldier, before and after the war. In 1941, Soviet soldier Eugen Stepanovich Kobitev took the photo on the left the day he left for war. The photo on the right was taken in 1945 after the war ended, just 4 years apart. Wartime rescuer. A Red Cross nurse writing down the last words of a fatally wounded soldier, taken around 1917. The Night Witches. Among historical photographs, we have the Night Witches, a fearless group of Russian pilots who bombed the Nazis at night in 1941. Sir David Attenborough. Finally, here is Sir David Attenborough as a young man in the late 1950s.